Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rufio Phoenix. Welcome back to another video, another commentary. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Google Play's target API level requirement. I'm not going to read all this. I'm just going to say this outright. Damn, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them. Anyway, I'm not reading these. I'm just going to go ahead and let you kind of scroll through and let you guys read this while I explain it. Basically, they're targeting your Google Play access through the store, the Google Play app store. They want to have any app on there. If you're accessing it or utilizing one of their services, they want to make sure they can approve your desire to even utilize such an app before you can even use it. They want to identify you via ID or credit card. This is the same thing I was talking about with video games being attacked. It's also happening on mobile. Now, I'm not much of a mobile gamer myself, but there are some games that I do impact, like the one playing in the background. The background is called Honkai Impact 3RD. I hope you enjoy some gameplay. I know it's choppy. It's from a phone recording. Don't blame me for the tech of its time. Anyway, basically, they want to identify anyone on that. That means if you download a VPN or want to download a VPN, before you even make the transaction, they want to try to identify you, and they're going to force this to happen. This is already starting to come into place. However, it hasn't become effective law yet or effective regulation, though this is what they're threatening to do, and what I think they're probably going to do anyway. I've already told you, they want to control you based on your identification. This means that if they wanted to target you based on, for example, let's say you said something on the internet they didn't like, well, they can just oust you based on that and have your life entirely ruined based on what they want to do to you with legal enforcement based on just anonymous tips at that point. So like, no. No ruining people's lives, Google. That's not okay. I'm not ruining your life here. I'm adding to your creation, and you're ruining anyone else who has an Android phone's life. I'm not going to tell you whether or not I have an iPhone, an Android, or a burner. I'm not going to tell you. You don't need to know. And I honestly think that with all of this litigation, these regulations, this new concept, EULA, I honestly don't think it's safe to even use an Android phone anymore, although there is, according to some YouTubers on the internet, for example, Some Ordinary Gamers, Mudahar, thank you for pointing this out, there is a OS you can flash into he mentions that there is a flash you can flash from your PC onto your phone and replace the OS, and it'll still optimize functionally, and police will say, you're using a criminal phone. Yes, you probably are, because your privacy matters. If it becomes criminal to have your privacy, I'd rather be a criminal based on I want my privacy than have to be a liar in association with falsehoods and trying to target people based on what they say. Thought control is like Pink Floyd's nemesis. I grew up on Pink Floyd. We don't need no thought control. So how about Google, get a grip? You're not going to take away the internet from us. Even if you try, there are those who will defend us. The internet and gamers will side with them over you any day. I told you at some point, when the day comes that this happens, I'm telling you, the people should just boycott YouTube at this point. Google entirely should just get boycotted. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's true. With all this, I don't even dare to install anything on any phone at this point, because if I go through, and let's talk about Apple for a minute. Apple phones, basically in their EULA, it talks about how if you're going to advocate for a new app in their app store, they have to confirm you have to confirm it and say they approve of your desire to download it to even put it on the app store. That's basically what Google wants to do with Android. And Android has always been better than iPhones because of how much access Android-powered phones give the user. They give us a lot of tools. Sure, not every app is the greatest thing on the market, but even if you wanted to sign in to use some mediocre app, you'd have to threaten your identity with identity fraud and theft by corporate entities before ever actually reaching the app, just based on profiling. Profiling is not an acceptable means of identifying a human being, and that's exactly why this new API requirement won't fly. And people will probably do exactly what Some Ordinary Gamers or Mudahar would suggest, and I actually think he's onto something here. Mudahar, I think you're onto something. Good job, brother. This new OS that you can load onto your phone via a flash from your PC might be the best access to privacy you could probably get, and he knows it. Although his best warning in another prior video of his is that It is what the police will consider a criminal phone, but as long as you're not breaking the law, it is completely complicitly legal. So be good, behave. That's basically the premise. But even then, you can't stop people from knowing right from wrong when it comes to weighing the values of what they're offered versus what they already have and what you've already given them and allowed. You cannot simply take it away. And if you do, we already know what that's called: communism, authoritarianism, totalitarianism. It gets pretty bad, doesn't it? Yeah. So let's not go up that far up the ladder, shall we? Let's mitigate and negotiate some means in which the people do not have to be forcibly identified as if they were the Jews at a concentration camp, shall we? All right. Peace. Stay awesome. Injury coffee. Be awesome. Be excellent. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay along with this mediocre showcase of the mediocre API level requirement on Google Play that Google is threatening to do as a control scheme. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and this little talk. Peace. I'll talk to you later. Stay awesome and drink coffee. Be awesome. Be excellent. I'll see you in another video.